Good day and good life. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy, James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen in this video, but that's okay. We're going to live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, I am not feeling well, so I will be off camera. I also just washed my hair. Like, share, and subscribe, and welcome in Kevin Reynolds.
Yes, welcome, Kevin. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Yes, guys, please subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on Mrs. Best's channel. Currently, we have Love and Hip Hop Miami. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that just premiered last week. So we have a couple different shows on her channel. Make sure you subscribe and be sure to tell James sent you. And also, I have a couple of other content creators in my description box. Do me another solid, y'all. Subscribe to Shana. Subscribe to Keywan J TV. We love them. We want to make sure that they get their just due on our channels as well because they also support us too. So we want to make sure we send out that support to them as well. So.
Oh, and Kevin, thank you for the invite to the IT group.
Yes, Kevin, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Kevin is our resident secretary here at Watch Your Mouth Reviews. He gives me all of the juicy details that I talk about. So we shout out to Kevin always. So, y'all, when I tell y'all this episode was so fucking boring, I literally fell asleep 3 times watching this. I had to keep myself, and luckily I was emailing back and forth some of my bosses and stuff because I'm like, look, I'm about to fall asleep. So I might be out of order and I might not cover everything, but that's okay. I'm going to make this entertaining. So the episode opens up with Angie organizing the cash trip. They're going to none other than Greece. And I'm just like, if I hear Angie one more time mention that she is Greek, she's getting a Greek citizenship, she wants to find her roots and her heritage, I am going to scream because I am over this. Like, don't get me wrong. The setting and where they went was absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to go myself. But because Angie is making this her mission to make us understand it, is going crazy. So she has Mary and Heather over with her father and her aunt. And they are discussing, you know, how do you say this? How do you say that? And Angie's just happy to be responsible for the cash trip because she did another cast adventure at the beginning of the season, and Lazy and I like that because they had to sleep in an RV. The campsite that they went to looked like it was an old abandoned junkyard. So, and this is Angie redeeming herself. So, Mrs. Best, how do you feel about Angie campaigning the new cash trip for this season? Uh-oh, did we lose Mrs. Best on there? She not feeling well, so we may not have her at all times. But I'm gonna just say I'm not looking for this. Actually annoyed me. So the ladies meet up at the airport, and they're ready to fly. They didn't go. Where did they go? They didn't go to Athens. Where did they go? I didn't already forgot already. Let me read my notes real quick. I'm trying not to look at my notes, y'all. Sorry. But it's where Angie's. Let me see. Why is my notes not opening up on here? If y'all know, say it in the chat because I'm about to go crazy because I just wrote this. Santorini. Thank you. Got it. So they fly up there, and when they get there, we understand that Angie and Lisa went back and forth about a Cartier watch. And this Cartier watch tells them that they both copy from each other. Whenever Lisa has something, she feels Angie copies her. Angie said, I've been having my shit longer than you. I had my Porsche before you. And Lisa said, no, I've always had a Porsche. And Angie's like, I'm on my 5th Porsche. And Lisa's like, okay, I'm on my 4th one, but that's okay. And Heather's looking like they are arguing over a Cartier watch. So Heather, when they are on the duty shop, she went and saw that there was a Cartier in there. So she went and found another Cartier watch, and she was like, Whitney, hey, we finna get matching Cartier watches. So Mary asked Heather, how much did the Cartier watch cost? She said, it's about $6,000. It was no big deal. And I said, $6,000 is no big deal, Heather? Oh, okay. Okay, Heather, I see you. And Mary in her confession was like, I don't get the big deal about a Cartier watch. It's an old grandma watch. Like, why do y'all care so much? Like, this is so stupid. And I said, I agree, Mary. I agree. And Whitney was just happy to get that free watch. Whitney was like, she's like, look at my watch, y'all. See, Lisa, we copied you. And I said, this is so fucking stupid. Oh my God. I'm going crazy. So they get to their villa and it is very beautiful. One thing I will say about the Salt Lake City, since season one, they always stay in very beautiful places, even though they don't have the budget all the time. They really do go to some nice places and stay at very nice villas. They always have food waiting on them. Definitely, better than Real Housewives of Atlanta when they go on a trip. But from there, Angie tells them we're going to go to the beach and have like a little beach date. And she says, we need to get ready and we need to be out of here. So Lisa, y'all know how Lisa goes when she does a trip. Lisa's like, oh, I have to use my glam. And Angie was like, okay. I mean, why do you need glam? Like, what the hell's going on? She goes, I just have to have my glam. So they glam Lisa up and they all go to the beach. When they sat down at the table and everything, and Mary was like, oh, Angie, that hat threw off that whole outfit. She goes, I know I'm not going to wear it. And when she said that both Bronwyn and Heather had bucket-shaped faces, I couldn't help but laugh. I said, Mary, why are you always coming for these ladies' looks? And Bronwyn does have a bucket-shaped face, but Heather does not. Heather's face looks like the moon. Like, Heather's face does not look like a bucket. Like, Mrs. Best, do you think Heather's face look like a bucket shape to you? Or what do you think?
I think about Heather's face. And how dare you ask me that on the internet? Actively working to get a friend of many years canceled before she could get started. I don't know of a bucket-shaped face as it relates to Heather. With Heather, I think of medical conditions and or inbred. That's all I think.
I'm just saying. I said, Mary, you got this one wrong because that is not a bucket-shaped face. But anyway, so they sit down at the table, and Angie makes this comment about, because Heather has said at the beginning she wants to get some guys' numbers, and so Angie looks over at Bronwyn. So she said, Bronwyn, are you going to get a guy's number? And Bronwyn looked at her and was like, why would I get why would I get a man's number? I'm married. She said, well, you said that you and Todd, were talking about an open marriage. So I just figured. Bronwyn said, no, me and Todd are fine. We are not going to have an open marriage. There's not going to be none of that. We are good. But Heather said, but what happened because y'all were separated? You told him to go stay at a hotel. And Bronwyn said, no, I didn't say that. And everyone's looking around like, Bronwyn, you did say that. And even Mary piped up and she said, Bronwyn, you did tell us that something happened and that you guys had to separate. We're not making this up. And Bronwyn said, no, me and Todd are totally fine. Everything is good. I didn't say that. And Heather was trying to reason with her again. It was like, Bronwyn, you made it seem like there was something going on and that he had to leave the home. And the producers play a flashback. And we saw Bronwyn saying, Todd and I had an issue and I told him I need some time. Now, in Bronwyn's defense, she didn't say they separated. She just said she needed time. But we could put, as she said, 2 + 2 together and create that as 4. I don't think we're reaching Bronwyn. And I'm starting to look at Bronwyn with a side eye because it looked like to me that you got in trouble for telling your business on national TV and Todd got in your ass. And now you're trying to recorrect some shit. That's what is given to me. Mrs. Best, do you feel that same way or am I reaching?
Bronwyn be saying the dumbest things to people that she does not know. I understand needing to be open for a show, but if you're going to say something, then stand on it. Don't say something and then try to play semantics. That irritates me. She may not have said out her mouth that she was separated, but you're right. She did basically insinuate that was the case.
Yeah. So Meredith and her wrinkle pops up and says, Bronwyn, I wasn't there, but take this as you being pretty much gaslit for, saying something and making it look like you're lying about what you're talking about because I went through that. And everybody looking at Meredith like, oh, wow, Meredith, really? And Bronwyn was like, okay. Like, she just took it because Bronwyn knew she talked too much. And I think that's really what it was. Bronwyn knew she did too much. She talked too much Todd said in the car, why would you tell them about our sex life? So that means that when Bronwyn told him more, she opened her mouth too much. So that's all that was. So we then go to the next day from this dinner that now that it got really awkward between the group. Once again, Lisa has glam. And the ladies are wanting to go shopping and see, everything else. And Lisa is just getting, her makeup done and everything. And Angie's like, we're trying to see the sights. We're trying to see everything. Why aren't you not ready? I told you to be ready at a certain time. And Lisa is ignoring her. Lisa said, I get ready on my own time and I can do my own thing. I can research this country and do everything else. I don't have to be with them. So the ladies go out and they're going shopping. They're looking at the aesthetic of the place and it is extremely beautiful. And on their way there, Meredith whispers to Heather, like, hey, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to, talk and, say everything. And Heather kind of shrugs it because she's still pissed at Meredith. She really doesn't have much to say. So they kind of split off. So on one group, we have Brittany, Whitney, Heather, and Angie. And then we have Mary, Bronwyn, and Meredith. They kind of do some shopping while the girls, sightsee and everything. But before they get to where they're going, Whitney's ditzy ass ends up slipping and falling and almost rolled down the hill. And I tell y'all, like y'all said here, that shit was so fucking funny. And she couldn't even get herself up. A man had to come and rescue her off of the thing so she wouldn't fall her ass down the driveway, wherever she was. I laughed so fucking hard and rewind that shit so damn much. I was like, that's what her ass get. That's exactly what she gets. So as we're going into the scene and we do the split scene, Mary comes over and asks Meredith, like, what's going on with you and Heather? Because she had already had a conversation with Heather about Meredith and how she feels and how she can't get through to Meredith. And Meredith says, I'm fine. I tried to talk with Heather. I tried to make peace with Heather. I'm trying to, talk with her and everything. And she just won't give me the time of day. And Mary's like, well, just continue to try because, you both are really good friends. You both are really there for each other. Mary's trying to be kind of the voice of reason in this. And to me, would just let them be. I wouldn't even get involved with that personally. But yeah. What y'all say to this chat? I'm not. Well, Whitney ain't got the money, Mrs. Best. She ain't got the money to do this. So,
No, I would not spend this $6,000 just to be petty against nobody. I don't care how rich I am. I'm cheap. If I'm spending $6K, it better not look like no grandma watch. And goddamn it better not have nothing to do with any of these hoes. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Brahma speaks on her personal to manipulate attention, then post the perpetual victim, knock that ish off lady. She do. That's a great way to put it. Because yes, she does. She says this to be a perpetual victim. And then when people hold her accountable, then she want to say, oh, I didn't say that, or that's not what happened, or that's not the outcome or anything. But it's like, okay, we get that might not be what happened, but don't gaslight us and act like we didn't hear you say that, or you didn't insinuate, like Mrs. Best said, that that's what it was. No, I 100% agree with this. Crazy. But Lisa is walking by herself, recording, the scenes and everything. And the ladies are looking, and it was a lot to take in. And she's like, you guys see how beautiful it is? I'm glad that you guys appreciate this. And I'm just looking at Angie, like, okay, Angie, it's fine. So they then go shopping and Lisa meets up with them and she goes, hey, like, where have you been? And she goes, oh, I just got ready and, I took a stroll and everything. And they were like, well, how did you find us? She goes, oh, well, we were all going to the same place. Like, it wasn't hard. So she's like, let's eat. Let's go out to dinner. So they go back to the hotel or to their villa. And Angie was like, okay, y'all, we have to get ready in an hour. Like, and Meredith was like, oh, that's not a lot of time. I got to wash my hair and stuff. And Angie's like, that's fine. We'll wash your hair, but we got to be ready in an hour. And so all that happens and they get to the place where they're going to, eat. And This is one of them episodes where you just have to wash out everything because to me, I did not care about this beef between Heather and Meredith. It is so stupid. It is so stupid. But we're going to talk about it for just a tad bit, y'all. And then I'm going to go into the conversation. So, in the beginning of this, everyone, kind of takes her range seat, and Meredith sets on Heather's placement the little necklace that she had bought, and then they flash back to a scene that they make to the cutting room floor of Meredith wanting to buy Heather a peace offering. So Heather looks at it and she goes, "Oh, it's very pretty. I love it." And I think Mary was the one to say, "Yeah, it's a peace offering." And she goes, "Oh, we're not in peace at all." And Meredith's like, "Okay, well, you could just accept the gift or not. You don't have to take it or anything." And she goes, "Oh no, I'm going to accept the gift, but that doesn't mean that clears up." And then Heather, in her confessional, said that Meredith is treating her kind of like a battered wife. Like, you do you do things to me, and then you buy me a gift to kind of pacify me and say we're all good, knowing that we're not. I don't agree with Heather. I actually don't. Mrs. Best, do you agree that that's what Meredith is trying to do with Heather?
Um, Meredith just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I don't even know that she has like a full plan. I just don't think she want to talk about it. If Meredith has to be accountable in any way, she is not going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Exactly.
I'm tired of her.
I'm tired of it too, but that's not what's going on, Heather. And I agree with you. It's like she doesn't want to keep rehashing it. So Heather tells Meredith, she goes, "No, you called me a liar, and you said that I tried to say that if I'm friends with Brittany, that you're not going to be my friend." And you told me you didn't say that. And Meredith stands down. Now she goes, "I did not say that, Heather. That's not what I said." Now, Meredith, once again, y'all are playing on words. You did insinuate that, as we like to say, you did say that anybody that fools with Brittany, you might as well just cut them off because I'm not going to fool with you. That's what you said in so many words. So you did say that. And Lisa pipes up and she was like, "I don't know why you guys are always trying to make it seem like, Meredith is not your friend or that she's not doing anything, in your favor or anything. It's not Meredith's like choice to, if you're going to be friends with Brittany or anything." And Heather was like, "No, back up a minute, because that is the issue. The issue is that she's saying that she did not say that when you, Lisa, even said that she said that. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is a simple fact that if I'm friends with Brittany, Meredith is not going to be my friend." And Meredith said, once again, that she didn't say that. And I said, Meredith, even though Heather is doing a lot, I understand both sides of it. I wouldn't fuck with Meredith if that's what Meredith told me. Because if I chose Brittany out of the situation, then I'm going to cut ties with Meredith because that's what Meredith wanted. I have common sense to think that. These other ladies are trying to force some shit to happen where Heather's trying to be friends with both. It's very high school and it's very silly. She drew her boundaries, Heather. And instead of you saying, "Okay, well then fuck it, I guess we're not friends anymore, we'll just be cordial," I'm rolling with Brittany because what you did was fucked up. And Heather's point was all of this got caused by a fucking TikTok, which Meredith and Seth had other shit that happened in their marriage. And I said, "Well, Heather, that's not really fair because it's still a rumor regardless, and it's still something that happens. Now, do we believe it? Yes. But at the same time, you can't, like, someone can't bring something to Meredith and then tell Meredith how to react. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, I think if Meredith wanted to be pissed about it, she had every right to be because you're talking about her marriage. But you can't expect this lady to be your friend and draw a line in the sand when you're friends with the lady who caused her harm and she chose, like, "Hey, I don't want to fool with you no more," because you're going to run with her. That means in some way you agree with what she did was right. That's how I look at it. Mr. Best, I could be reaching, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't really blame Meredith for it. I think this is dragging on way too long.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion, I don't like Meredith, but in this case, like, something's been said. What do you guys want her to do? She talked to Brittany. Brittany and her made peace. If Brittany and her made peace, then what the fuck is Heather's problem? But Heather is just looking to have an issue with someone. And I feel like she's looking to have another moment because the only reason Heather's still here after her lies is because of her moments. Lies, receipts, screenshots, proof. all of this. She tries to have a moment every season. Heather and Angie are two people who I think ruin this show a little bit, just in that they're so disingenuous with the stuff that they do and say. Now, I'm not saying Meredith hasn't been the same way, but I do agree with something she said. If she was that much of a problem, flight attendants, TSA, they would have removed her, restrained her, sat with her. They have things to do on planes, and they didn't. So now that she's made peace with Brittany, it's like, what the fuck can y'all do? Let it go.
Also, Heather confirmed there's no footage of what happened on Watch What Happens Live. I meant to say that. So I'm actually now reassessing how I look at this. Now, I do agree with this, Kevin Reynolds. I do. And the problem that I have with this, though, is that because Brittany and Meredith made peace, this shit should have been deaded, like Mrs. Best said. I think that this should have been deaded along with it, but Heather chose to keep the shit going by saying that one little comment that in hindsight doesn't even matter anymore, because she's now made peace with the person she had the issue with, that y'all quote unquote said that she targeted on the plane and combated with her for hours and made her cry. That now goes out the window since she's now apologizing and Brittany chose to forgive her. So Heather has no argument now. Like, to me, she's stuck on, well, you said if I'm friends with Brittany, I no longer could be friends with you. And it's like, well, she just apologized to Brittany. So obviously that is now in void. That's how I look at it. I don't know. I could be wrong and I could be reaching. But I'm just saying, for me, I don't see Heather's point anymore. After the apology has now happened, I don't see the point anymore. And I think that that was a small gesture to buy her the necklace. I don't think it was in the same way that Heather took it. I think Heather just wanted to be a victim. I just do. And that's just my opinion. Because I don't see what the big problem is now that the two are cool. Like, I could see if Meredith didn't apologize to Brittany or didn't have a conversation with Brittany, I can then see what Heather is talking about. But no, they deaded that shit. So it should be deaded with Heather as well.
I keep telling people, Angie K, I've been said from the moment we start doing these recaps on James's channel, there's something about her. I did not like her. But her and Heather, when you lack authenticity of any sort, and the only reason anyone liked Heather originally was because she was more authentic season one. But now I'm starting to think that she is, and I can't let go of when Monica's season happened, because what came out through the reality Von T situation is that Heather was one of the main cast members communicating and talking to the press. So I don't trust nothing she do on this show. But I'm getting DMs like crazy. I just got 4 of them in a row about Meredith Marks. I don't know why that comment was ignored, but she allegedly is all over the internet now. I'm starting to see it outside of DMs. Do you really think Bravo will say no to her getting 2 times her salary? Do you think she'll come back? Or do you think they'll pay her?
No. No, I don't think they'll pay her. Here's the thing. This is why I don't think they'll pay her, because she is parlaying herself to another show. Unless she did, what is her son's show? What is that show called?
Next Gen.
Next Gen. Unless she did Next Gen for free, which I highly doubt. That's the only way I could see her getting more money, is if she did that show for free. But the fact that she's on 2 Bravo shows, also promoting her business on both shows, I don't see them giving her more money. I don't see them giving any of them more money until they get to like season 10. Season 10 realistically is where they're going to start to see more of the money. That's where I think, yeah, I see them getting a pay raise, but I don't think it's going to be double.
I don't know. It keeps coming up from more and more reputable sources that Bravo may just not renew her contract.
I wouldn't either.
I hope so.
Because how dare you?
Enough to get paid double.
Right.
You can't even yell at your friend when she's calling you all sorts of prostitution whores.
Exactly. Like, no, Meredith, you be happy with the check you get, because you don't give enough. This shit with Heather is stupid. And if you had any, that's why I'm glad she really paid Heather dust. Because Heather said, what did she say at the end? Damn, I'm slipping and I don't want to look at my notes. She said, you're very selective when you outrage. That's what she said. And Meredith said, I disagree. Um, do I think Meredith is selective with her outrage?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, that's how Heather gets away with her BS, because she calls out things that are true. The problem is, it's like receiving a message from Trump on ethics. Like, the shit just don't mix.
Right.
Nobody's gonna take it seriously. So I don't know.
I think she is selective with her outrage because she didn't give it to Lisa when Lisa called her a garbage whore. She didn't give it to Jim Shaw when Jen Shaw was all up in her face when it was alleged that Meredith was the one who called the feds. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I do think, but she did yell at Angie when Angie really wasn't doing nothing at her bar mitzvah, but responding to Brittany. And so I'm just like, yeah, she is very selective with her outrage. She only gives it to people who she feels like cannot take her on. She didn't give it to Mary when Mary says that she was, you know, a snooze fest. I didn't see her yell at Mary. So that's what I'm saying. I do think that she does give selective outrage. I do. In the words of Brady Meredith, all you do is spin records. And she can't even do that. She can't even do that right. She was playing Rumors by Lindsay Lohan out in Las Vegas.
James, I gotta present in a Teams meeting for like 5 minutes. But
we're about to end it. We're about to end it, so you can go ahead. Yeah, that's it. That's all that happened. Ain't shit happened. I talked about the breakfast they had when they got there. I talked about the lunch. Unless I am missing something, I don't think there was nothing else.
Oh shit.
There was nothing. They had nothing this episode. There was nothing else. I talked about Whitney falling. I talked about the argument with Heather and how I did not agree with it. There was nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm just like, yeah.
Speak up in the chat if I forgot anything before she goes. No one's speaking.
I got till 3:30, y'all.
Yeah, no one's speaking. So that's pretty much it, y'all. It was nothing.
That's
there was really nothing.
27 minutes.
There was nothing on this episode.
Shit.
I mean, we could keep talking about hell. I will play it if YouTube.
That's crazy. You know,
there was nothing.
When we do these lives, we're usually here, but oh man, you can only say so much when the whole episode they're talking about the same thing, arguing over cars that I personally wouldn't recommend anyone buy. We arguing over cars, watches, and shit that has nothing to do with us if we're Heather. So I guess.
Yeah, there was nothing else that I will say. I didn't forget anything.
See, that's why Meredith needs to go, because when the episode center around her and she has to answer for shit, it's not just that she paid Heather dust. She always does this. She's either going to bullshit and gaslight you, or she's going to tell you to leave. You can leave. And if you don't leave, then she'll leave. So, send her away. If you can't do confrontation, why are you on reality TV? Clear lady.
I'm just saying. So that was it. That was all the episodes. So hopefully next week's episode is better. But thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. Go to your meeting. Have a good one. I'll text you later. I appreciate everyone else for being here. Shout out to Kevin Reynolds. Shout out to Shani. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to my replay gang. I appreciate y'all as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment, y'all. Let's talk in the comment section. Let's see how we feel about this. This was a very boring episode. There's not much that happened. So thank you guys for being here once again. I'll see you guys on my next live. Bye-bye now.